What's going on, my gamers? Welcome back to Goshen's Games, and if you guys aren't tired of me talking about Cyberpunk 2077 yet, we're going to talk some more about Cyberpunk 2077. But today's my review on it. I've been playing this game, and I have well over 30 hours in this game yet, and I'm not done yet, but I'm going to do a review on this, and I'm not going to review it based off of the glitches and anything like that. I'm going to review it based off of the game as if it was running perfectly. Okay? So, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you guys are new, all of that stuff. Let me know if you guys are playing Cyberpunk 2077. I want to know what your favorite thing is and what your least favorite thing is about the game. And let's see if we match up. All right. So, out of the gate, to me, Cyberpunk 2077 is an average game, but it's enjoyable. And the reason why I say that is because it doesn't really do anything new. Everything that this game does has been done before. It's been done in Fallout. It's been done in Mass Effect. It's been done in Outer Worlds. It doesn't do anything new. It's an open world RPG, first-person perspective, which a lot of people, and myself included, kind of criticize the fact that there's character creation, but you can never really see your character unless you're on a motorcycle or looking in a mirror. It doesn't give you a third-person option like Fallout does or Outer World does. So that's kind of a disappointment in that regards to many people. The story, it's okay. It's okay. Keanu Reeves is enjoyable as Johnny Silverhand. And V, as far as the female actor goes for V, because I haven't played as a male V, I love the voice actress for V. I think she does a phenomenal job, as well as Jackie. I love Jackie so very much in that game. The combat is fine. Again, it doesn't really do anything new. It's Fallout. It's Outer Worlds, it's Mass Effect, it's any first-person shooter with RPG elements. That's what it is. Again, like I said, it doesn't do anything new, but it does it just fine, right? Like the combat's fine. It doesn't feel broken. It feels fluid enough. The user interface is fine. It makes sense in the world that it is because everything's cybernetic. So I mean, in theory, you would technically see things like ammo count and your health bar, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a cyborg. I have no idea. As far as the story elements go, they're interesting enough. I mean, I don't feel compelled to really truly follow the story entirely. There's a couple of surprises here and there, so I'm not going to spoil anything for people who want to play the game but are waiting for the bugs to be fixed. The story's all right. It's all right. I mean, it's not like a world-changing story or anything like that. It's not like it hits like the first Last of Us, or hell, even the second Last of Us. It's not like it hits the same way that the storytelling in Outer Worlds does, or Fallout New Vegas, or basically any other game. Really, it's the charm of this game is really engrossed in being in the city, is in being in the environment. What they do well, they do really well, which is the environment and being within Night City and being within the outskirts of Night City. Interacting with different people, interacting with different characters feels pretty fluid, although sometimes intrusive, specifically when you're getting gigs or when people are calling you and you're kind of in the middle of combat. Although it seems they fixed it. So I guess initially it was a glitch that calls weren't supposed to come in while you're in combat. But even so, it's still kind of intrusive. You'll be driving to one gig and then all of a sudden get a call from Delamain. I hate Delamain. To go and find his car. You know, like it's one of those things where it just feels intrusive, the whole calling system. And then on top of that, not only do you have the calling system, but then you get text messages. The lore is very deep for this game, though. So outside of the main story, you have the lore. There is a lot of lore. I would say even to the scale of a Fallout game when it comes to lore. Because in Fallout games, for example, you find the lore in all the small little details. Every place that you go explore on the computers, you find lore. You find what happened in that section or things that tie into other places. It's the same way in Cyberpunk. You find little data chips, and the data chips tells a story. Sometimes they have stories of just random NPCs. Sometimes they tell stories of other characters. Sometimes they tell stories that are actually stories. It's very well done in that regard. That's why I said when it comes to things that are done well, they do it well. I can't judge the game on graphics. I'm playing on my PS5, but it's not a PS5 version. It's the PS4 version, so it plays it like the PS4 Pro, but it still has better frame rates. So, on PS5, playing the PS4 version on the PS5, it's okay, right? It's not like playing on PC with, having a 20 series or a 2000 series GPU and up, and taking full effect of ray tracing or just better frame rates or just better resolution in general. The PS5 is locked at 4K, 60 FPS, which is fine, and it typically hits that 60 FPS most of the time. But again, it's not the PS5 version, and I'm kind of waiting for the PS5 version as well. So that's why I was kind of I'm not going to judge it based off of that because that doesn't have a PS5 version. I just thought I'd mention it. The music is fantastic. Like one of the things for me for video games is music has to be on point. If the music is not on point, then the game can fall flat on its face for me. That's like, imagine you had Castlevania Symphony of the Night with just generic music. It wouldn't play the same at all. You wouldn't get engrossed in it. Or imagine Zelda, playing Ocarina of Time, and you go out into the field and not hearing that overworld music. Oh wait, that's what they did in Breath of the Wild. That's one of the problems I have with that game. But you get what I'm saying. Like Cyberpunk offers a ton of radio stations for you to listen to, which is something that it does better than Fallout. Okay, because Fallout only has a handful of them. This one has a vast collection of music for you to listen to as you're going through the city, and it's fantastic, and I love it. Something that disappoints me in the game is the fact that there's no companions. You don't have any companions. I'm used to playing these type of games like Fallout and Outer Worlds, and getting companions. There's no companions in this game, and I think having companions because you have quests for side characters, and you would think that a character like Panam would be a companion or a character, just any other character in general. The only companions that you have per se would be like Jackie and Johnny Silverhand, but they're not even really companions either. Jackie would probably be the closest that you have to a companion for a good chunk of the beginning of the game, and then after that you're just by yourself. So it's kind of a weird flow when it comes to that. Another thing to me, which I feel like was kind of a really big letdown, this is a really big one for me, is the fact that the game feels very linear. Your choices don't matter. Like your dialogue options don't matter in the game, other than just maybe different reactions that you get from other characters. And what you choose in the beginning of the game, whether you're going to be Corpo, Nomad, or Street Kid, doesn't matter. It'll change the beginning of the game, but the rest of the game plays the same. And then the only difference is you get options depending on what you picked as far as dialogue options. So I picked Corpo, so my character has a dialogue option for a Corpo playthrough. And while that's fine, the story is still the same. Nothing changes. I would have liked to have seen factions in this game where if you pick Corpo, you have the choice to either go as a Corpo and like stay with the corporate, or you branch off away from the corporate and fight against them. I'd see that would have been better storytelling. That would have been better for replayability and more along the lines of a Fallout game. Because, for example, New Vegas, and I'm going to keep using New Vegas as an example because to me, New Vegas is one of the best games in this genre of games that does it the best. Where your decisions matter. So you could go with Mr. House, you could go solo, you could go um, New California Republic, you could go with Caesar Legion. You know, like there's so many different options, which adds to different replayability for you when it comes to that game. Cyberpunk doesn't do that. The only difference, like I said, is the beginning of the game. You pick Corpo, you see the intro for Corpo. Okay, cool. You pick Street Kid, you see the intro for Street Kid. Okay, cool. You pick Nomad, you see the intro for Nomad. So like, but then they all intersect in the same spot, and nothing else changes. Maybe the ending changes a little bit because I know that some people have gotten different endings, and that's fine. But overall, the story is pretty much the same. You don't have a whole bunch of different options, and I would have liked to have different options. This game actually reminds me more of Fallout 3, where taking the DLC out of the equation. So in Fallout 3, where you have your entire playthrough and the ending just goes the same spot. And then you have an option as to like what you want to do to influence it just a little bit, but the ending's still the same. Again, take the DLC out of consideration in that regards. But overall, I enjoy the game. I do. I just feel like so many things might have been cut out of the game, and they did mention that they did do some cuts from the game, but I feel like what they cut would have made the game so much better. I'm very mixed on this game because while I do enjoy it, it's just an average game. It doesn't do anything that stands out to me that is overwhelmingly positive and makes me want to replay the game once I'm done. And yes, I'm taking my time with this game, but it to me, it's more along the lines of how I feel with Red Dead 2 or Death Stranding. Like, I enjoyed both of those games. I enjoyed them immensely. But I'm not going to go back and replay them because what's the point? It's all the same after that. There's no replayability for me. Now, I'm not saying this applies to you, but for me, there's no replayability in those games, just like there's pretty much no replayability in Cyberpunk. Unless, again, you maybe want to do a different build, but even then, it doesn't really change the game. It just changes how you play it, but the story is still the same. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about the game. If you've been playing it, if you've beaten it. No spoilers for anybody, please. But I want to know how you guys feel about this because this game is just, for lack of a better word, it's a mess. But it's an enjoyable mess. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. And some of you guys are going to ask, what would I rate the game? Bugs aside, 6 out of 10. Buy it on discount. Even if there weren't bugs, I would say buy it on discount, $40. Because the story is short. But because the maps are so massive, you can just get lost in them, and that's what makes it fun. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.